We really haven't talked about it. It's been more about us here for practice and trying to improve from our last game against Creighton than it has been for, all the focus in the Big East in terms of like where we're going to eat and all that stuff. Mario handles all that, so I really don't know to this point like how we're going to handle watching the game, preparing our guys, which we will, but I'm not worried about that just yet. Day-to-day guy.
What improvements do you want to determine?
We have to be better on defense, and we're giving up 89 points a game in our last 3 games, despite our record of 2-1. And we've talked to our team all year long that the best teams in the country hang their hat on the defensive end. I think this team can score with anybody in the country, but I don't think that we can outscore anybody in the country on a given night. And I'd like our team not to learn that the hard way. Sure, it's fixable because I would say it would be beyond repair or it wouldn't be fixable if we've never done it. So, yeah, it's fixable. We have to play a little bit deeper into the shot clock on offense. I think we have the 4th or 5th fastest pace among high major schools. I think we have to value our shots a little bit more. And even though we're scoring, it doesn't necessarily help our defense. Your offense and defense are really tied into one another. And there are a couple other things that we just have to get better at here over the next 72 hours. It's just the fact that we have a round-robin league. There are no secrets by the time you get to conference tournament play. And, you feel like you really know an opponent, their strengths, their weaknesses. You could probably go around the league and say, hey, this team's a tough matchup for that team and vice versa. But we're in a little different position because for the first time going to the Big East tournament, we're playing the winner of somebody for game 1. And that hasn't been the case the first couple of years that we were in the league. So it's a little new. But, again, I don't mind that because I think the focus needs to be on Xavier and where we need to improve here these next couple of days. Yeah, it's awesome. And I think that I got a question on my conference call today that, do you think conference tournaments are necessary? Do you think they're not what they used to be? And, for our guys, they absolutely love competing at Madison Square Garden. It's an incredible experience for a student athlete to be in that arena. Heck, the Beatles played there. It's where Jordan had some of his best games. It's a really cool experience for our guys. New York City, it's obviously electric, and there's gazillions of people walking around, and the focus is on the tournament. So, yeah, it's an incredible, I would say once in a lifetime, but maybe 4 times in a lifetime for a guy like Farr, or 3 times since he's only been in the Big East for 3 years. But I would never want the conference tournaments to go away. I think they're really cool. Now, having said that, should you reward the regular season champion versus a tournament champion? I'm not going to become the spokesman on that, but I think you could probably make an argument on both sides. But I love conference tournaments. I think they're really cool. It's been a very, very enjoyable group to coach from the beginning of the year all the way through. We certainly haven't been perfect, but as I said the other day after our game against Creighton, nobody. There's a couple exceptions, but almost nobody had us in the top 25, voted 4th in the Big East. And for us to go 12 straight weeks in the top 10, maybe even 13 straight weeks in the top 10, it shows that our guys have been able to handle success the right way, that we've still taken a lot of people's best shot and for the most part been able to stand up against that. It's rewarding. But I told the team after Creighton, every team we play is 0-0. The only thing we're guaranteed are 2 games. One in the Big East tournament and one in the NCAA tournament. That's all you're guaranteed. So it's up to you to play for more. Well, I think we have a deep team still. Most teams start deep and then disintegrate that depth as the year goes on. And, by and large, we've been a very, very deep team, which, I love that. Every guy on our team that plays minutes should have confidence if a guy goes in foul trouble or isn't having his best night. I think all year long we've played extremely unselfish. We lead the Big East in assists per game. We have slipped defensively here over the last 3 games, but we're more than capable of being a really good defensive team and a team on the glass. And, we haven't been able to win the regular season of the Big East the last couple games. And now you have a little more incentive on your plate to be able to possibly hang a Big East championship banner would be an incredible accomplishment. It's not going to be an easy one, but there's a lot to play for, and our guys have a true excitement about them as we head to New York. I'm really happy for our team. We have such a deep team that, number one, this conference is littered with really talented players. It's hard to make a first or second team all Big East team. It just is. And there's only 11 spots. You have the player of the year, and then you have 5 guys on each team. But in our team, one of the strengths of our team has been its balance. And I am not in any way, shape, or form saying that any of our coaches in the Big East screwed up. But Miles Davis has had an incredible year and really won't be recognized in any way as far as the Big East goes. So on one hand, I'm really happy for our young talent. Guys like JP being recognized as the best guy off the bench in our league. I think he was probably followed really closely by James Farr, from my understanding. And then you have Trayvon Blewett, who's a sophomore, who makes first team. You have Edmond, who was a unanimous selection on the all-rookie team. That's 2 sophomores and a freshman that are making those type of honors. Says a lot about this year's team and our future. Really, really awesome. But in some ways, I feel for a guy like James, a guy like Miles. We have a very, very deep team, and sometimes when you have that, you can't spread the wealth around and you can't spread the spotlight around. But hopefully our team understands that. Team first, individual stuff second. But no one's hanging their head. We're tremendously, honored to have those guys recognized, and we're going to go to New York City and try to bring home a Big East championship. Now we'll find out. It won't matter a whole lot if we only play 1 game in New York City, but if we're able to play 2 or 3, then it can become a weapon. Same thing with the NCAA tournament with quick turnaround. So it also allows us the versatility to play multiple ways. If you go big, we can go big. We can match up with a 4 perimeter type team around 1. So we'll see. The only thing that's been surprising is our ability to handle success. And I think that's really difficult with young people. Hell, it's difficult with old people too, probably. But just being able to come to practice every single day and not rest on their record or feel like we can take a day off, that's been a little surprising because that's not always the case. And it's probably why you see a little bit of parity around the country, teams dropping games here and there. And it's hard when you always have the bullseye on your back. And our guys have carried that pretty well. That could be part of it. I also think our approach to practice, having humble seniors who've also seen the opposite, being an everyday guy. We stress it all the time. You got to be an everyday guy. You got to go to work every single day, and we have those type of guys, and that's why it's been such an enjoyable group to coach, because they're not full of themselves. They handle themselves the right way on the practice floor, out in the community, on the academic side of things, and usually when you have that type of high character mixed with good talent level and coachability, you can have a really good team, and we do.